Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today we're going way back to the Roaring Twenties.
Oh, wow.
With this really cool vintage ebook called Make Money Today.
Nice.
It's kind of like a time capsule, of like entrepreneurial thinking from almost a century ago.
I like it.
So imagine like before the internet. Before side hustles were even a term.
Yeah.
What were people doing to get ahead financially?
Exactly.
We are about to find out.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Let's do it.
This is going to be fun.
So this source really gives us this cool glimpse into not just the business ideas,
Right.
but the social and economic forces at play back in the 1920s.
Yeah.
It's a chance to see how people kind of navigated a very different world
Right.
and maybe even uncover some timeless wisdom
Oh, I love that.
from back then.
Okay, so let's crack open this treasure chest.
Right.
Make Money Today reads like a motivational business course.
Okay.
It's packed with like tips and inspiring stories.
And a surprisingly strong emphasis on salesmanship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That focus on salesmanship is key.
I was just thinking that.
Like, remember, this was long before mass media or the internet.
Right.
So success back then really relied on
Yeah.
building those personal relationships and convincing people directly. It was a much more interpersonal world
Yeah, for sure.
than we have today.
Okay, so the book suggests
Yeah.
some really unique money-making ideas.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, for example,
Yeah.
there's the neighborhood pantry,
Okay,
basically turning your home into a mini grocery store for your neighbors.
interesting.
It's like a hyper-local, pre-internet version of Instacart.
Oh, wow, that's a good way to put it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So it speaks to a time when communities were more tightly knit
yeah,
and convenience was a major selling point.
yeah, I bet.
Not everyone had easy access to large grocery stores,
Right,
especially in like rural areas.
yeah.
So it was filling a real need.
And it's fascinating to see how entrepreneurs were already tapping into those localized needs.
Absolutely.
Okay, so another suggestion is becoming a bargain Zanny Muth, writing a newspaper column about local deals, and getting paid by the featured businesses.
I see.
So this kind of sounds like
Yeah.
a 1920s precursor to influencer marketing.
Totally. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It taps into that human desire for a good deal and the persuasive power of recommendation.
Exactly.
But back then, this type of localized information was even more valuable.
Right.
Because people had limited ways of learning about sales or new products.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So someone who could curate those deals
Right.
held real influence.
Totally.
Okay. And then there's Rooms,
Okay.
turning your home into a boarding house
Okay.
for working women.
Interesting.
So it reflects like the changing role of women in society, with more women entering the workforce
Yeah.
and needing like affordable housing options. It highlights how entrepreneurs often address a specific need
Right.
that's created by these societal shifts.
Exactly.
You can see parallels today
Yeah.
with like the rise of co-living spaces and
yeah.
community-based living arrangements,
Okay.
particularly in cities with high living costs.
Totally. Yeah.
So the book relentlessly stresses the importance of salesmanship.
Okay.
No matter what your field is,
Mm-hmm.
it even tells you how to find a free salesmanship course.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're saying, hey, learning to sell is the ultimate life hack.
Right. That's pretty cool.
And in a rapidly changing economy
Yeah.
with new products and services emerging, that ability to like communicate and persuade and build trust
Right.
was a powerful asset.
Absolutely.
It was a way for individuals to stand out and create value in a competitive market.
Yeah.
So what's striking is how some of their advice on sales techniques is still relevant today.
Okay.
Like building relationships, understanding your customers' needs,
Right.
and presenting your offering in a way that connects with their desires.
I see.
These are like timeless principles.
You're totally right.
Right.
Human psychology hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
People still want to feel heard, understood,
Yeah.
and like they're getting genuine value.
Right.
The channels and technologies have evolved,
Yeah.
but effective communication and persuasion still rely on those core principles.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so Make Money Today also reveals a lot about the mindset and skills needed to thrive as an entrepreneur back in the 1920s.
Yeah.
It's all about resourcefulness, finding creative solutions to everyday problems,
Right.
and having a serious hustle mentality. It's like the original side hustle guide.
Totally.
Those qualities were essential back then.
Yeah.
Access to capital, information, and support networks was far more limited than it is today.
Right.
So entrepreneurs had to be scrappy, adaptable, and willing to take risks. It shows how having that can-do attitude and being willing to roll up your sleeves can really make a difference.
It's so important.
But were there specific challenges for women entrepreneurs?
That's a great question.
That the book addressed?
While it doesn't explicitly address those challenges, you can kind of infer quite a bit from the types of businesses it recommends. Like many suggestions are home-based. Or cater to female customers. So this reflects the social norms of the time. Where women were often confined to the domestic sphere. So it's almost like the book is suggesting ways for women to create their own opportunities within the limitations that they faced.
It's like that.
And you see similar dynamics today with women-led businesses often focusing on areas like childcare, education, and wellness, catering to the needs of women and families.
It's like certain needs persist across generations, and entrepreneurs find creative ways to address them.
I love that.
Speaking of which, there are some intriguing parallels between these 1920s ideas and modern business trends.
Absolutely.
Make money today stresses finding creative solutions to everyday problems. That's a core principle of modern innovation.
Totally.
And the emphasis on networking, building relationships, understanding your customers' needs.
I agree.
Those are timeless principles that are just as relevant now as they were back then.
Exactly.
It's amazing how certain business concepts transcend time and technology.
It goes to show that while tools and contexts change, the core principles of like identifying problems, creating value and connecting with your audience remain remarkably consistent.
Okay, so now the later part of Make Money Today gets even more interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
It dives into what it calls Category 5 thinking, contrasting it with the big company wisdom of the time.
Okay.
So it's like they're dropping some early startup wisdom.
I like it.
Okay.
Let's jump down that rabbit hole.
I'm intrigued.
And see what these Category 5 thinkers were all about.
All right, so what are some key differences between like big company thinking and this Category 5 approach?
Well, the book highlights a contrast between what they call problem-first logic and product-first logic.
Gotcha.
And they illustrate this. It's a fascinating example. The story of Stryker Forceps.
Okay, give me the backstory on Stryker Forceps.
So Jonathan Thorne, the inventor, created a new type of surgical instrument. But instead of just focusing on selling the product itself, he went a step further. He sought out a bigger problem.
I see.
That his invention could solve.
So he wasn't just thinking about the product in isolation. He was thinking about the impact it could have.
Exactly. He realized that his forceps could solve a major issue for neurosurgeons during delicate procedures.
Oh, wow.
This realization led to a much larger and more successful business. It's a classic example of problem-first thinking.
It's like he found a way to create value that extended far beyond the product itself.
Absolutely.
He addressed a real need in a specific field.
Exactly.
So instead of starting with a product and then trying to find a market for it, Thorne started with a significant problem and then tailored his solution to address it effectively. So it's a principle you see at the heart of many successful startups today.
Absolutely.
That's a great reminder that focusing on solving a real problem can be more sustainable than just having a cool product and hoping people will buy it.
For sure.
But wasn't Category 5 thinking about more than just problem solving?
You're right.
Okay.
So Make Money Today also contrasts the Category 5 mindset with traditional approaches when it comes to identifying target markets.
So how did these Category 5 entrepreneurs approach target markets differently?
They championed the idea of thinking narrow versus broad.
Okay.
And they use Nike as a prime example.
Interesting.
Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman,
yeah,
Nike's founders,
right,
initially focused on a very specific problem.
Okay.
The lack of proper shoes for distance runners.
That's fascinating.
Right. So Nike,
yeah,
now this global brand,
yeah,
started with a laser focus on a small niche. And it speaks to the power of understanding.
Yeah.
A specific customer's needs deeply.
Right.
They created a product that perfectly served that niche. Starting narrow allowed them to build a loyal following.
Yeah.
And gain traction before expanding into broader markets.
It's a valuable lesson for entrepreneurs today.
Absolutely.
Sometimes focusing on a smaller, well-defined market can be more effective than trying to be everything to everyone right from the start.
It allows you to refine your product, build expertise, and establish a strong brand identity before scaling up.
It's about choosing your battles and dominating a niche before conquering the world.
I like that.
So we've got problem-first logic and the power of thinking narrow. What other Category 5 gems does the book offer?
Well, it strongly emphasizes the importance of bootstrapping and resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to funding.
Okay, I'm ready for some bootstrapping inspiration.
All right, so Tesla.
Okay.
In its early days, relied heavily on pre-orders and strategic partnerships to raise capital.
Interesting.
They found creative ways to get funding without relying solely on traditional investors.
So they weren't waiting around for someone to hand them a check?
Right.
They were making things happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Go Ape,
the
Treetop Adventure Company, creatively partnered with the UK Forestry Commission.
Oh, wow.
To access land and resources. That's cool.
They leveraged existing assets and found a win-win collaboration.
So these examples show how resourceful entrepreneurs find ways to overcome resource constraints.
Right.
Instead of getting stuck waiting for traditional funding, they got creative.
Exactly. Resourcefulness is key for any successful entrepreneur. It's about being creative, adaptable, and finding ways to maximize what you have available.
Right.
It's that scrappy, make-it-work spirit that can lead to breakthroughs.
Love that.
Now are you ready for the most audacious Category 5 advice?
Oh, bring it on. I'm ready for some bold entrepreneurial wisdom.
All right, so the book advocates for begging for forgiveness later.
Begging for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
It sounds a little risky.
It definitely raises some eyebrows.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah.
Right.
So the idea is that sometimes it's better to move quickly and decisively, even if it means bending the rules a bit, rather than getting bogged down in bureaucracy and approvals. It's about taking bold action and dealing with the consequences later.
That's a bold statement.
It is.
Especially in today's heavily regulated business environment.
Right.
It seems like a strategy that could backfire pretty easily.
It's a high-risk, high-reward approach.
I see.
It can lead to groundbreaking innovation and rapid growth. But it can also backfire.
Yeah.
Causing legal issues, reputational damage, or strained relationships.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all recommendation.
Definitely not.
It's a calculated gamble.
Right.
That depends on the situation and the entrepreneur's risk tolerance.
Exactly.
It's a powerful tool, but one that needs to be used with caution and a clear understanding of the potential consequences.
You have to weigh the potential rewards against the risks involved.
Okay. I'm starting to see how Category 5 thinking is different.
Yeah.
It's less about playing by the rules and more about disrupting the status quo, even if it means shaking things up a bit.
Oh, exactly.
So challenging conventions.
Yeah.
And finding innovative solutions that might not fit neatly within traditional frameworks.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears and talk about something a bit more contemporary.
Yeah.
Opportunity zones.
Okay.
Make Money Today highlights this concept as a modern way to incentivize business investment in underserved communities.
Okay. Opportunity zones. That sounds intriguing.
It is.
Tell me more about how they work and why they're significant.
So opportunity zones are a fascinating example of how government policy can attempt to stimulate economic development in specific areas.
Yeah.
They offer tax breaks to investors who fund businesses and projects within designated zones, typically economically distressed areas.
So it's a way to attract private investment to areas that might otherwise be overlooked?
Exactly.
It's about using financial incentives to encourage positive change?
Precisely.
So the goal is to attract capital, create jobs, and revitalize struggling communities. But like any policy initiative, opportunity zones have both potential benefits and drawbacks that we need to consider. Okay, so what are some of the key benefits that opportunity zones offer? Let's start with the positive side.
Okay, at their best, opportunity zones can attract much-needed investment to underserved areas, leading to job creation, business growth, and improved infrastructure. They can revitalize communities that have been struggling economically.
That sounds promising.
It does.
You mentioned drawbacks.
Right.
What are some of the potential downsides of this approach?
One concern is that the benefits might not always reach the residents of these communities. Right. There's a risk of gentrification where existing residents are displaced as property values rise and the character of the neighborhood changes.
So it's important to ensure that opportunity zones genuinely benefit the communities they're designed to help.
Yeah.
Rather than just leading to displacement and further inequality.
Absolutely. It's about creating opportunities for existing residents. Not just attracting outside investment.
Yeah.
Another concern is that the tax breaks might primarily benefit wealthy investors without actually creating substantial economic opportunities for local residents.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
It is.
Attracting investment is important, but it needs to translate into real benefits for the people who live in these communities.
Precisely.
There needs to be careful planning and oversight to ensure that opportunity zones live up to their potential and don't just exacerbate existing inequalities. It's not just about throwing money at a problem. It's about creating sustainable and equitable solutions.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a really important point.
It is.
Before I move on, I want to touch on a couple more intriguing ideas from Make Money Today.
They really caught my eye.
All right, I'm all ears.
The book highlights a unique take on the franchise model.
Okay.
Using the U-Haul dealer program as an example.
Interesting.
It sounds like they were ahead of their time in terms of creating an accessible business model.
Yeah. U-Haul's model was remarkably accessible. Even back then. There were no franchise fees.
Wow.
Minimized liability risks.
Okay.
And it didn't require long-term contracts or large parking areas.
So it was a low barrier to entry way for individuals to start their own businesses.
Right.
Leveraging the U-Haul brand and infrastructure.
Exactly.
It's like a prototype for today's gig economy and platform-based businesses.
Totally.
You're right.
Yeah, it's a precursor to those models. Where individuals can leverage existing networks and technology to offer services without the traditional overhead of a brick-and-mortar business.
It's amazing to see how these early models of franchising and business partnerships
paved the way for the more decentralized and flexible models we see today.
Right.
It speaks to that enduring entrepreneurial drive to find creative ways to leverage resources, reduce risk, and create opportunities for individual empowerment.
Absolutely.
Now, here's another fascinating aspect of Make Money Today.
Okay.
The book dedicates a whole section to the importance of personal development and lifelong learning.
Wow.
It's like they're anticipating the modern obsession with self-improvement.
Totally.
That's amazing, considering this was written in the 1920s.
Yeah.
It seems like they had a very forward-thinking perspective on the importance of continuous learning.
They emphasize that knowledge is power, and leaders are readers.
Love it.
They encouraged individuals to continuously expand their knowledge, cultivate valuable skills, and embrace a growth mindset.
This resonates so deeply.
It does.
With the modern emphasis on lifelong learning and adaptability in our rapidly changing world.
Exactly.
It's like they understood that staying stagnant wasn't an option.
Right.
It's a timeless principle.
It is.
The more you know, the more adaptable you are to new challenges and opportunities.
Oh, sure.
It's a reminder that investing in yourself and your own development is one of the most valuable things you can do.
Absolutely.
No matter what path you choose.
Right.
Okay, that's a great point to pause for now.
Yeah. It's been a fascinating exploration of entrepreneurial ideas from a century ago.
It has.
I'm sure our listener has already gleaned some valuable insights from this deep dive into Make Money Today.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It has.
All right. We'll be right back.
Sounds good. So it's remarkable how much we can learn.
Yeah.
By looking back at a different era and seeing how those entrepreneurs approached challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
What stands out to you from all these strategies and mindsets we've discussed?
Yeah. You know, I'm struck by how Make Money Today manages to be both a product of its time and surprisingly forward-thinking.
Right.
It has this underlying spirit of innovation and adaptability that still feels incredibly relevant today.
I agree.
Yeah.
Certain core principles of entrepreneurship, like identifying problems, creating value, connecting with your audience, really do transcend time and technology.
It's inspiring to see.
It is.
How people in the 1920s were already finding creative ways to leverage their limited resources and build businesses that catered to the evolving needs of society.
It shows that the entrepreneurial spirit can thrive. Yeah. Even amidst constraints and uncertainty.
I like that.
Now, are there any specific points from the book that particularly resonated with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The book's emphasis on salesmanship as a fundamental skill, regardless of your field, really stood out to me. It's like they're saying that everyone is selling something, whether it's their skills, their ideas, or their products.
And in a way, they're right.
Yeah.
The ability to communicate effectively, persuade others, build trust, is essential in almost every aspect of life.
It's not just about being a smooth talker.
Right.
It's about understanding your audience. Yeah. Crafting a compelling message and building genuine connections.
I find it interesting that Make Money Today even provides specific steps on how to find a free salesmanship course.
I know, right?
They clearly recognize the importance of continuous learning and skill development, even back then.
It's like they're saying, don't just rely on your natural talents.
Right.
Invest in yourself and sharpen those skills to be even more effective.
Totally.
Which aligns perfectly with the modern emphasis on continuous learning in our rapidly changing world.
Absolutely. Adaptability and a commitment to lifelong learning are more crucial now than ever before.
Another point that struck me was the book's emphasis on having a can-do spirit and a willingness to hustle.
That theme really runs throughout Make Money Today.
Yeah.
They constantly emphasize taking initiative, being resourceful, and finding creative solutions to overcome obstacles.
It's the original hustle harder mentality.
Totally.
And it's incredibly relevant for entrepreneurs today. Yeah. In a fast-paced and constantly evolving business landscape. Right. The ability to adapt, overcome challenges, and find creative solutions is what separates those who succeed from those who just give up.
It's about having that entrepreneurial grit and determination to succeed no matter what obstacles come your way.
Not waiting for opportunities to magically appear, but going out and creating them.
Exactly. Yeah. Success rarely falls into anyone's lap. It takes hard work, dedication, and a willingness to push beyond your comfort zone.
But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Make Money Today is how the authors seem to anticipate the constant evolution of the business landscape.
I see what you mean.
They were writing in the 1920s.
Right.
But they had this remarkable sense that change was inevitable.
Yeah.
So adapting to it was crucial for success.
I agree. Well, they even dedicate a section to what they call Category 5 thinking, which seems to be all about challenging conventional wisdom and embracing a more disruptive approach.
They understood that staying stagnant wasn't an option in a dynamic world. Yeah. They encouraged readers to experiment, try new things, and pivot when necessary.
It's incredibly forward-thinking for a book written almost a century ago.
It's like they're saying, don't be afraid to break the mold and find new ways of doing things. The old ways won't always cut it in a world that's constantly changing.
Totally.
It's a message that couldn't be more relevant today.
Absolutely. In a world of rapid technological advancements, shifting consumer behaviors, and global competition, adaptability has become the defining characteristic of successful businesses.
For sure.
Those who cling to outdated methods simply get left behind.
It's about embracing a mindset of continuous learning, experimentation, and iteration, being open to new ideas, new approaches, and new possibilities.
And perhaps most importantly, being comfortable with uncertainty and ambiguity.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The most successful entrepreneurs are often those who can navigate change effectively.
Yeah.
Embrace challenges as opportunities. And constantly seek out new ways to create value.
They're not afraid to step outside their comfort zones. And take risks.
Now here's something that might surprise our listener.
Okay. Make Money Today doesn't shy away from discussing the realities of economic disparity.
Interesting.
It acknowledges that not everyone starts with the same resources or opportunities.
That's a surprisingly progressive perspective.
It is.
For a book from that era.
Yeah.
You'd expect them to focus solely on strategies for getting rich.
Right.
but they actually delve into the challenges faced by people struggling to make ends meet.
Exactly. It's not just about accumulating wealth. It's about empowering individuals to take control of their financial well-being,
right,
and create a more secure future for themselves and their families.
They offer practical advice.
They do.
On managing expenses, generating income, and building a more stable foundation.
It's a reminder that entrepreneurship can be a powerful tool for social mobility and economic empowerment.
Right.
Especially for those who face systemic barriers to opportunity. Absolutely. The book highlights the importance of creating a more equitable and inclusive business environment where everyone has the chance to succeed, regardless of their background or circumstances.
It's about leveling the playing field and giving everyone a shot at achieving their dreams.
Speaking of inclusivity, Make Money Today also takes a surprisingly progressive stance on the role of women in business.
It does.
They acknowledge the growing presence of women in the workforce, and even offer tailored advice for women who want to start their own businesses.
Oh, God. It's fascinating to see how the book encourages women to leverage their unique skills and perspectives to create successful businesses.
It's a reflection of the changing social landscape of the 1920s. Women were starting to challenge traditional gender roles and demand greater economic independence. And Make Money Today seems to champion that shift.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the enduring power of the entrepreneurial spirit. And its ability to transcend societal barriers.
It's about creating opportunities for individuals from all walks of life.
Now, before we get too carried away with our own analysis, let's bring it back to the core message of Make Money Today.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways for our listener?
I think the most important takeaway is that entrepreneurship is more than just a set of business strategies. It's a mindset, a way of approaching the world with curiosity, creativity, and a willingness to take action.
I completely agree. And that mindset is just as relevant today as it was a century ago.
It's about seeing possibilities where others see limitations.
Exactly.
It's about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth and innovation.
The book also emphasizes the importance of continuous learning, adaptability, and the ability to build relationships and communicate effectively.
Those are timeless skills that are essential for success.
They are.
Regardless of whether you're starting a business, climbing the corporate ladder, or pursuing any other ambitious goal.
And ultimately, Make Money Today reminds us that entrepreneurship can be a powerful force for positive change.
For sure.
Not just for individuals, but for communities and society as a whole.
It's about using your skills and ingenuity to make a difference in the world.
It's about creating value, solving problems, and empowering others to achieve their full potential.
It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
Now, I know we could spend hours dissecting this vintage gem. But I think it's time to shift gears and explore some modern-day examples of entrepreneurial success that embody the spirit of Make Money Today.
I'm excited.
Are you ready to jump into the 21st century?
Absolutely. I'm eager to see how these timeless principles are playing out in today's world.
I think you're going to like these.
Okay, let's dive into some inspiring stories of modern-day entrepreneurs who are making a real difference. All right, so we've explored Make Money Today and its treasure trove of entrepreneurial ideas from the 1920s.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
It has. Now let's fast forward to the 21st century and see how those principles are playing out in the modern world.
I'm excited.
Me too.
It's exciting to see those timeless principles of problem solving, resourcefulness, and adaptability alive and well in some of today's most innovative businesses.
I'm ready for some 21st century inspiration. What modern day examples really capture that Make Money Today spirit?
Well, let's start with a company that's revolutionizing how we access fresh, locally sourced food. Imperfect foods. Tackles a massive problem, food waste, by partnering with farmers and producers to source perfectly good fruits and vegetables that don't meet grocery stores' strict cosmetic standards.
So they're taking something that would normally be discarded and turning it into a valuable product for consumers.
Exactly.
So it's like a modern-day twist on resourcefulness.
That's a perfect example of problem-first thinking.
Yeah.
They identified a significant issue, food wastes, and built their entire business model around solving it.
And they're tapping into a growing consumer desire for sustainability and ethical sourcing.
For sure.
It's a win-win-win for the business, the consumers, and the planet.
Absolutely. It's about creating value that extends beyond just profit.
Yeah, I like that.
It's about making a positive impact on the environment and the community.
Okay, so we've got Imperfect Foods fighting food waste. What other inspiring examples come to mind?
Let's shift gears and talk about Ro.
Okay.
A company transforming healthcare through technology. They're making it easier and more affordable for people to access quality healthcare.
Yeah.
Particularly in areas where traditional healthcare systems are falling short.
That's a huge issue, especially with the rising cost of healthcare.
It is.
How is Ro tackling this challenge?
They're leveraging technology to streamline the patient experience.
Yeah.
They connect people with doctors virtually.
Oh, wow.
Offer affordable medications.
Okay.
And even provide personalized treatment plans.
Interesting.
So they're removing barriers, reducing costs, and empowering patients to take charge of their health.
It sounds like they're bringing healthcare into the 21st century, making it more accessible and convenient for everyone.
Exactly. They're constantly innovating and expanding their services to meet the evolving needs of their customers.
It's a great example of how technology can be used to create a more equitable and accessible healthcare system.
Right.
And it's a testament to how entrepreneurial thinking can challenge the status quo and find solutions to complex problems.
I agree.
One more example, if you have time.
Of course. Let's talk about Skillshare.
Okay.
A company reimagining how we learn new skills.
I love Skillshare.
They've created an online platform that connects people with experts in a wide range of fields.
Right.
Offering affordable and accessible courses on everything from photography to coding to business development.
Skillshare is fantastic. I've taken a few of their courses myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like democratizing education.
Yeah.
Making it possible for anyone to learn valuable skills.
It is.
Regardless of their background or budget.
It perfectly aligns with the message of make money today.
It does.
Which emphasized the importance of continuous learning and self-improvement.
They understood, even back then, that knowledge is power.
Right.
And that investing in yourself is one of the most valuable things you can do.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to grow and learn new things.
Yeah.
And that access to knowledge should be available to everyone.
And it reflects that entrepreneurial spirit of connecting people, sharing knowledge, and empowering individuals to reach their full potential.
This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
From vintage business ideas to modern-day innovators.
It's amazing how the spirit of Make Money Today is still alive and well in the 21st century.
It's a testament to the enduring power of innovation, adaptability, and willingness to challenge the status quo.
As we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with a challenge.
Okay, I'm ready.
Think about what you've learned from Make Money Today and these modern-day examples.
Okay.
What problem are you passionate about solving?
What unique skills and resources do you have that you could apply in a new and innovative way?
What's your own Make Money Today strategy? What spark of an idea has been lingering in the back of your mind?
Maybe it's time to dust it off. Get a fresh perspective. And take that first step towards making it a reality.
And remember, the entrepreneurial journey is a marathon.
It is.
It's not a sprint.
For sure.
It's about continuous learning.
Yeah.
Persistence, and a willingness to embrace the ups and downs along the way.
So keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep learning and keep diving deep.
That's right.
Who knows? Maybe someday we'll be featuring your story on the Deep Dive.
That's a wrap on this Deep Dive. Head over to our website for more resources, insights, and inspirations.
Until next time,
keep that entrepreneurial spirit burning bright.